Hello YouTube, this is a update on my Red Sea Reefer 450. It's been a little while since I've done one, and I'm starting to see some pretty good success. The big change came when I changed my lighting. I had the Gen 3 Radions non-pro, and I went ahead and upgraded to the Gen 4 Pro Radions with the new optics. And when I did that, my success rate really took off. I'm running them at 80% power, controlled by the Neptune Apex system, 12-hour photo period. It ramps up to the Coral Lab PS AB Plus program, and then ramps to all blue, and then ramps down. And I enjoy the blue colors, so I have more of a blue schedule, but it starts the day off pretty white. So that was a real big success for me in my tank. The second success came in installing the Neptune Apex dose system for calcium and alkalinity, and it really stabilized my alkalinity levels. Right now it's dosing approximately 70 milliliters of alkalinity and calcium a day, and that seems to be working out at the moment. I'm also running a CO2 scrubber attached to my protein skimmer, and that keeps my pH elevated. The pH swings from 8.2, 8.25-ish, and goes down to 8 at night. One thing that happened is I went on vacation about a month ago, and I had a refugium set up with chaetomorpha, or chaetomorpha, however you pronounce it. And things were going well, but towards the end of my trip, I noticed on my Apex the ORP levels really dropping. And when I got home, my chaetomorpha had collapsed. I don't really know why. What caused the ORP to drop, I think, is the filter socks didn't get changed, for over a week while I was gone. But I don't really know why my chaetomorpha collapsed. I'm going to try it again to get it restarted. I'll zoom in here and show you some of the coral growth. So this coral is a digitata coral. It's brown. I bought it as a 1-inch frag, and the tank's not even 2 years old, and that's a pretty huge colony taken off. I was hoping to get some coloration out of it, but it's pretty much stayed brown. The coral right below it started life blue and has changed to green and gray. And then this one is the worldwide coral Madman Austera. In general, my complaint with LED lights is I can't obtain blue colors out of my corals. I know some people have, but mine all seem to turn green or purple. The blue just goes away. It's kind of aggravating. One really good successful coral is this one right here. I'm not sure what it is. It's supposed to be blue, but it's more purple and green at this moment. I think it's like a bonsai coral, but I can't remember. This is a Cephastria. I had a huge colony of it, and it died, but just a little piece remained, and so it started to actually grow back. I just sold off a whole bunch of Superman mushrooms. They got out of control, and I got a little nervous about it, so I sold about 15 of them. But I couldn't get these off the rocks, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them, if I'm going to let them live or what. They kind of make me nervous at the rate they grow. One thing I haven't been able to keep is zoanthid polyps. I don't really know why. I added a aptasia-eating filefish, and I'm suspecting that he might be the culprit in my polyp's not doing well. This coral is doing really well. It's the Worldwide Corals Laser Beam Chalice. Started off with 2 eyes and now it has quite a bit. Pretty successful there. My favorite coral is the Rainbow Montipora. I almost had killed this off and it finally just came back to life and is doing quite well. I actually have 2 colonies of it. Anyone need a purple Montipora cap? I've got a bunch of it. I got one there and one there and one on my frag rack. Seems to do well. I've struggled with clams. This is a Jurassic clam. It's doing well. I had a Maxima and it bit the dust. I suspect something's eating them, but I'm not really sure. This chalice is doing pretty good. It started off with just a few eyes and it's starting to grow pretty well. My green Capricornus, I'm not sure what's going on with it. It just doesn't seem to want to thrive. It'll grow and then die, grow and then die. But right in front of it, I believe this is either a red planet or a pink Cadillac. I'm not quite sure, but it's doing very well. One of my other favorite corals is this. I believe it's a Sunset Montipora. The colors on this thing are just crazy. I never thought I'd be in love with a yellow and orange color, but it is vivid. I'm wanting this coral to do something. It's kind of just stationary. It's the Cherry Garcia from Worldwide Corals. I've moved it around trying to make it happier because I think that'll become one of my favorites. Another little acro starting to do well. That started off as just a little tiny frag and it's done really well. This is a cool Montipora I picked up at Reef Shack here in Atlanta. It can develop a blue color in the base along with the green and sometimes a brown, and it just kind of looks like a cool camouflage at times. But right now it's all pretty much orange and green. This is the blue tip stag, and it is not blue. It's green and like purple and brown. I'm trying to get it to turn blue, but I don't really know what to do. I've tested my potassium levels. It's not potassium. The potassium levels are in line. I sent off some water to the Triton labs to see what's all going on. This is called a Chameleon Coral, and it is pretty cool. Again, if I had the blue come back on it, it would look much different. But it has like yellow and purple and blue and green. My Rhododactylus mushrooms are doing well. Got a little raspberry Cephastria right above it. That's another Cephastria, I believe, right there in the middle that almost all died, and now it's starting to come back. And then I've got a cool hammer coral there that has turquoise and orange. It's a really unique version of it that I like. Kind of a gold and turquoise. I had to move my bubble tip anemone. It started to sting its neighbor, so I had to put him down here. He seems to be doing all right there. So that's a little update. I'm having way too much fun with the reefer. Highly recommend it. It's a great aquarium. And we'll see you next time.